All right, so let's go over how to cut a part of a circle. This is a question that commonly comes up. Maybe you don't, it's pretty easy to figure out how can we get half a circle. I'll go over that real quick. Or how do we get the bottom half, the left half, the right half. But the question sometimes is how do we get like maybe 3/4 of a circle? Maybe we want to start the circle here and end there. In other words, we just want to cut off a little section of it. So how do we do that? So what we're going to do, and then let me show you the reason why this is an issue is let's just say we want to cut off, like I said, let's just go with that little section right here, the top left. We want to just cut that off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut, I want everything below this part. So with the circle, we run into an issue. So if I want everything below that, I'll say y is less than or equal to 0, or not 0.5, negative 0.5. Now, here's where you can already see the issue. So it's giving me everything y values, according to the y values, because all my y's are less than negative 0.5, but the problem is I've also cut off this part. But don't I want it to go over here? I just wanted this little tiny section cut off. So I also want this portion of it. So that's where we run into an issue. How do we do that? And you're not going to do it all on the same graph. Speaking of which, you could do both the domain and restriction at the same time. So I could say that I also want x to be greater than or equal to 0.5. Oops. And this is not really working too well. I think I need to go to the very end here. Give me a second. So I can also put another restriction here saying, and restrict the x values to be greater than 0.5. Well, they already are all greater than 0.5. Let's go 0.75. See? So you can also restrict those x values as well and do both the domain and range restriction. And you can see that give you that portion there. But remember, we want to just take that little section off the top left there. We want the full circle of everything else. So here's what we're going to do. So I have the range restriction there. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to type the same equation again. X minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 2. Same exact equation. Now, you're going to freak out right now, but you're thinking, hey, the whole circle's there again. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to cut off. So before we cut a bottom piece, right? What we're going to do now is we're going to restrict to the right side of right here. I'm going to say maybe like 1.5. I want everything to the right of 1.5. And look what's going to happen. Now what we have is a circle with this section missing. So we have this bottom part of the circle. There's an overlap. You see red and blues making purple. And then to the right of that. Now if you want it to both be the same color, which you probably do, boom, you make everything red. Of course, it's a little bold in this section. If you really look at it, it does look a little more bold. I don't even know if you can tell in this YouTube video. But for the most part, there you go. You've got your circle with just this little portion right here being removed.